Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 10 things I wish I had known when I started playing the Destroyer class for World of Warships Legends. Now, I will say that the gameplay is not going to match up to any of this, and also what I have here, it's not necessarily in any particular order of importance. But if you follow a few of these things, I think you'll find that you have a lot more fun in the Destroyer, and you're also going to hopefully be alive longer and get more kills for it. So the first thing I will say is that you are support. You're a support ship. You're not a battleship. You're not a cruiser. You're support. You go out, you spot people, you cap bases, and hopefully you get a chance to torpedo the shit out of some dumb mouth breathing battleship who thinks that he's going to run straight or he's going to shoot a narrow gap channel. However, first and foremost, your job is support. And if you can come to grips with that, you're really going to have a lot better chance of being a successful Destroyer player. Now, are there shitty people who don't understand this and battleships who just do whatever they please? You pop smoke for them and then they just continue on? Sure, but guess what? Screw that guy. Keep supporting the team and you're going to have success, I guarantee it. Now, number 2, torpedoes. Not how to launch torpedoes, but knowing what torpedoes can do for you and for your team. Yes, they can get kills for you, but first and foremost, they can also be used to direct traffic. What do I mean by that? For example, let's say that you see somebody off in the distance and you want to launch torps to see if you can get them to go up against that island in the distance, or perhaps you want to see, you just want to launch torps just to see what you'll get. That's perfectly fine, guys. Put them in the water. You don't always have to get kills for torpedoes to be effective. Sometimes they'll get a battleship to slow down just enough for your battleship guys behind you to delete them. Torps can do so much. They don't have to necessarily just be for deleting other players. Which is going to lead into the next thing, which is smoke. Now, in my opinion, smoke is one of the things that is really underutilized for Destroyer gameplay. What do I mean by that? Smoke isn't just for concealing you. It can also be used just like the torps to get people to do what you want them to do. For example, at the top tier for battleships, a lot of times when they see a Destroyer pop smoke, they'll turn and run. A lot of times they'll turn and run, or they'll do silly things like they'll turn and run into an island, or they'll turn and run up against an island. And guys, if you pop smoke and that battleship turns up against the island and he has nowhere to go except for straight into your wall of torpedoes, you're gonna just understand so much better how important it is to use smoke in a way that doesn't just conceal you. Yes, it's there for concealment. Make sure you protect it. That way you have it when you need it. But play around with it. Get to know that smoke doesn't just have to be about concealment. Now, that being said, I want to preach this topic. Do not sit in your smoke screens if you can't avoid it. Is there a time and a place? Absolutely, 100% there is a time and a place. However, if you're going to sit in your smoke screen, I want you to be prepared to get a wall of torpedoes right into your smoke screen. Especially if you sit in that smoke screen and then you fire from it. I love nothing more than a destroyer on the enemy team who pops smoke, who then decides they're going to sit in it. Oh, and not only are they going to sit in it, but they're going to fire from the smoke screen. Guess what? I'm not the best destroyer player, but I'm good enough to know how to launch torpedoes into that smoke screen to hopefully annihilate an enemy destroyer. Nothing better, in my opinion, than annihilating a mouth breather who has gone ahead and sat in his smoke for 2 or 3 minutes and who thinks that he's not going to have anybody reach out and touch him. Alright, moving on. Number 5. You need to understand the ships that are in your tier. And that's not only destroyers, that's battleships and also cruisers. A lot of cruisers have radar, and a lot of cruisers, especially the Japanese cruisers, have the ability to send torpedoes out. So know that and be prepared for different scenarios. Example, the German destroyers at the top tiers, they have radar. And I can't tell you how many times at the top tier levels that I went into a game and I was like, cool, I got this. Just to run into an enemy destroyer, pop smoke, and boom, radar pops up, boom, he deletes me, his cruiser buddy deletes me. Or I get torped by an enemy cruiser. In my opinion, there's nothing more embarrassing for me than to get torped by an enemy cruiser. Just nothing more embarrassing. So know what the ships are in your tier and what they can do. Now, with that being said, number 6 is understand what your ship can do and what it cannot do. Prime example, Japanese destroyers. We have great torps and we have great concealment. Guess what we don't have? We don't have good guns. Guess what else we don't have? We don't have a good armor shield. We just don't have it. It's not there. That's not what the Japanese destroyers are about. So know what you can and cannot do. I cannot get into a close quarters engagement with most destroyers, even if they're low health. I just can't do it. I have to avoid them, and I have to play more of a distance game than if I was an American destroyer who has much better guns, much better armor, but they stick up out of the water more and it's easier to detect them. So just know what your ship can and cannot do. Number 7, do not be a damage chaser. What is a damage chaser? A damage chaser is that destroyer who locks in on that one battleship who is cruising towards the outside of the map after his team gets deleted or for whatever reason he's out there, and decides that, hey, I'm going to go out there and chase this battleship around the edge of the map. Guess what? You're screwing your team over when you do this for 2 reasons. Number 1 is you've taken yourself out of the fight. Alright? If you go out into the deep blue yonder on the outskirts of the map and you get yourself deleted or you're screwing around so much trying to torp that battleship that time expires or whatnot, you screwed your whole team. Don't do it. There's no reason to do it. Not only that, but that battleship, he's crying for help. So all of a sudden you have a destroyer and a cruiser there, and boom, all of a sudden you're out. Don't be a damage chaser, guys. Let him go to the back of the map, and then if there's time at the end of the match, or, if he's still around, then go get him at the end. Or, maybe your battleship buddies take him out. I don't know. But don't chase damage. Take what the game gives you. It's kind of like football with the offense and the defense. Sometimes as the offense, you just kind of have to take what the defense gives you. You can't always hit a home run. Consider that, guys. Number 8, you have to be patient. As a destroyer player, you have to be patient and let things develop in front of you. And this kind of goes back to the example I just gave with football. You have to take what the team gives you. Sometimes, guess what? It's a torpedo party. It's just one right after the other. The enemy team is nothing but a bunch of mouth breathers, and it's just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, torpedo, torpedo, torpedo. And there's going to be other games where it's just not like that. The play develops a lot more slowly, and it's just not that much fun. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, a lot of times when I play destroyer matches, they're not that fun. But I'm patient, and I know how to get the enemy to do the things that I want them to do. So, number 9, never be alone. Never find yourself alone if you can help it. Now, I know that there's times where it just you're pressing and the teammates behind you they're not pressing, and I get that, and it sucks. But once you notice that, you need to get out. You have to get out. Otherwise, you're going to get deleted. It's just a matter of time. A lone destroyer is... unless you're the only person left in the match, you should never be alone. Use that mini-map, guys. Know where you are. Know where the team is, and stay with the team. And I know it's hard because a lot of people don't understand that this is a team-based game, but you have to do it. Try to stick with it the best you can. And if it looks like it's just going to be a shit match, man, then do what you want to do. Go ahead, rush in, torp the shit out of people, right? Get deleted. But right off the bat, just try to stay with the team and support them. Now, number 10 is have an escape route. Alright, guys? If you go into cap a base, know how you're going to get back out. Alright? So if you go into A, and there's an island to your left, and there's open waters to your right, alright? Go to the left a little bit, and use that island as cover if you need to make a hasty escape. That way, you always have a strategy of how am I going to get out? What happens if I go into this cap and an enemy destroyer pops right up, or I get detected almost immediately? You guys have to have an exit strategy, and that will help you out so much to become a better player and survive longer. Alright, so there's a special one that I want to get out here. I think I have some time, so let me do it real quick. Cruisers are your best friends. Yes, battleships, they're great and whatnot, but guess what? They're dumb and they're slow. Cruisers are fantastic. Use them, help them out. They have radar, they have sonar. Some of them have smoke. Alright guys, I'm going to be out of time here shortly, so before I go, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below of what you think is the one thing that would have really helped you as a Destroyer player, and I will see you next time. Thanks guys.